Here we go. All right, favorite deck name so far. Devereaux the Ruthless. That's fun. So 3 decks: Logos, Mars, Dis, Sanctum. Mars, Untamed Shadows, Logos. Binate Rupture, Expian, Pip. Redacted. Dust Chronicles, give me an Ember. Miasma, Nerve Blast, give me an Ember. Throwing Stars, give me an Ember. Rigged Lottery. Should check if this is. Are we allowed to use the app? I don't even know. We're gonna find out right now. I don't know what these cards are. Each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck. For each Shadows card discarded, its owner gains 1. That's kind of fun. Fang House, actually one of my favorite. We got Double Glimmer, we got Key Charge. Double Regrowth on a Key Charge. That sounds fantastic. Redlock. I don't know what that does. Skirmish. The enemy return if you did not play any creature this turn. I like this deck. Oh, I'm gonna also steal. Nice. So I have a Binate Rupture with the Interdimensional Breath. Check it out. And fantastic. Alright, so without even looking at the other decks on there. Liga. Each time your opponent plays a creature. Alright, so this is said to be one of the best, but both of these have Mars. Double Charette. Extinction. There you go. Proliferator. Thank you. Wow. Mars has not a single ember. Only 6 ember written on those cards. Only 5 on this one. 2 unlocks. Flash. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's better. So there's 11 on this. We got a Legacy Mouth. So unless these other 2 are just absolutely amazing, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, 1, 2. 21 creatures in here. We do have Proclamation on that. Opponent's keys cost 2 more, unless they have. Sweet. So we have some captures. I can capture with Baron, make their keys cost 2 more, capture with Sparrow. Action capture 2, capture 3. So with that, I have.
momentarily.
Alright, so it's interesting. Capture.
There we go. Thank you.
Enemy just sweeps. That's good. Alright, so the question is, do I have an effect? Mother gun. Reap to bounce it. Archive. Oh, that's not. It's in there. I don't see it. Oh, resting gruntus. Jeez. Hold your discard 2, unlock board control. Alright, that's not bad actually. It's better than I gave it credit for, but the challenge with this one, it doesn't generate enough to burn. It's got a stupid amount of creatures, which the 2 unlocks can be a challenge. Jealousy, this one, on the other hand, is going to have a bunch of I love collector work. It's fantastic. None of my decks have any sort of artifact control like you need. You have a key to this, 3 fates. Three creatures in that one. The league is fantastic. I like that as well. Nature's Call, fantastic. Key charge gives me some sort of key cheat. Someone deck has a key cheat. Some glimmer. The ring star is interesting. Having 2 is helpful. Swindle. Do you have that? Triple dust. Wow. That's amazing. I can get those out of there. Love to play with proclamation. Is that for like, oh, I don't know if this deck has enough creature control, creature attack, direct damage, got mother gun. Shit.
Yeah. Anyone else know next?
Secret is such a great card. This has enough capture with proclamation, make the keys cost more.
Marshall. Yo, I need your Marshall assist. What up? All right. Yeah. Oh, I literally talked about this yesterday.
So Patreon doesn't go into their opponent.
Correct, because it's going to an out-of-play zone. It goes to their owner's appropriate out-of-play zone.
8 orange creatures.
It's going to an out-of-play zone in which the identity of cards are hidden from the opponent. So actually, nothing gets archived
I need those
because
sticks.
the effect actually stops. Correct, nothing gets archived off the top. It's really interesting.
I signed up on super late. So I was the guy who was going to be real late. What were you signing up for? T4 stroke. For the main event? Yeah.
This deck has a bunch of archive. But I don't even know what I would archive. It doesn't have. It has more with the rescue lenses. We can archive that, just kind of work stronger. It's like a fun deck, but sticky guys. I think was 6-1, 4-1, 4-2. And then a way to protect them. Boy. So if I can get a board state, just keep it. Sanctum creatures in this are really nice. Restaurant lenses. Near the dead, Percha. Creature. Civilian. Capture. The Ember control in this is fun with the capture. So I'll capture, unlock gateway. So many great Mars cards that are not in here. I like the Mars list deck. I mean, that's Harvesters, good. Exterminate can be good with creatures. Shockworm release. Just stuns enemy creatures. Tempted to go for that restaurant Ventus, but I think I'm just gonna say no. This just has the invert the control, nature's law. We have no artifact control, so they get good artifacts on opposed. I'm excited to play this deck too. I am pumped. At least I got a legacy card. Alright. Decision made. No, how to pronounce that. Stagger a little quick. Evadne, Benedict's Duelist. That's the winner.
was like, you were here yesterday.
He's always here. That's what he does.
Is that name correct?
Richard Matney, that's a winner.
I need this filled out.
What do I do?
Just the name, and then you circle the deck that you chose. All right, Richard, thank you. Do you mind?
No, no, no.
Check, check, check. All right, we're back. Come sit. All right, so, hey, thanks for everyone tuning in early. I thought I would get a round zero thing, and Richard was nice enough here to give us a good deck opening. So I hope that you guys got some good info out of that. And I wanted to just talk about this deck because do you have the other two decks?
Yeah.
Go grab them. We just had a conversation and then the audio got disconnected, so oops. But you know, we'll just kind of just go over it again because I'm sure you saw this. I'm not giving any input. I'm just kind of Look at the cards, like double redacted. That's a cool thing. I said he's gonna learn something today. We're all gonna learn something today. There are very obvious combos in this deck, and rather strong cards. And Richard was saying that you prioritized amber generation when you're picking your decks.
Well, obviously that's how you win the game. So unfortunately, that's what you got to look at. And so this deck definitely had the strongest when it comes just to Ember control. My other two had like 5 and 6, which is almost depressing. So that's just, this one at least has 12, which still isn't where I'd like to see it.
12 dots.
12, right? Ember just off of playing cards.
Yeah.
And so, but it has some really cool things: double regrowth, double glimmer, which is amazing, especially into a key charge.
Yeah, this may get you a key charge today.
So there's a lot going on in this deck that I really like. It also has I always like Enga. Gives me the +2 on the power, so it helps me at least keep my board a little bit longer.
I mean, yeah, there's real cards in this deck, and this seems like a very strong choice. I can't knock you at all for choosing this deck.
I'm excited to see. So
you have to be excited when you get double redacted. It turns out they didn't redact it, right?
And I have what again?
They didn't redact it.
Yeah.
And
then yeah.
All right, we're gonna have game one. Round one is gonna be coming up soon. Thanks again to Richard.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I will keep the stream
soon.
up, and I'll see you guys soon. Here, take your decks. Looking at his decks, I think that there might have been an argument for the second one, because it had a bunch of strong amber control in both Dis and Sanctum. But I think picking double redacted, the one thing he didn't mention is the Nature's Call, which can pick up those glimmers, or is just a very good card to get back with Glimmer. That's a very strong combo. But the Nature's Calls with the glimmers and the regrowths, that deck seems great. And the Logos house is not dead weight. There's a Cutthroat Research. There's double redacted. I don't think he'll actually get off the double, because you'll play one and then you'll be drawing through your Logos, and then you'll find the other, and you'll be like, you'll never get them both at the same time. But he can hard mulligan for a redacted on turn one, and that is really strong. Good luck to Richard. Thanks again to him for jumping into the stream. And hi, let me introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, let me post this thing here. I'm posting a thing to Reddit now. I've got my posts up on, thank you, on my Discord. Let me put a couple more announcements up on places. Here. Now it's on the content sharing Discord link in the official Keyforge chat. Hi, I am Dameron. I am a Keyforge player. I am one of the co-hosts of Bouncing Netsport podcast, and I will be your host today for the round, all 6 rounds of Day 1B of Origins 2019. For those of you who weren't watching yesterday, I was playing yesterday. I did do very well. I ended up going 5-1, so I'll be playing in Day 2, which is tomorrow. Today's Day 1B, not Day 2. And yeah, I'm very excited to be playing. I'm happy to be here. I've got this mobile casting setup where we've got this nice table that Cascade has been fantastic and has helped me set up. They helped me get internet. They helped me get the space. It's really great. I'm joined a little bit today with my buddy Eric. Eric is Stoic Angel on our forums and one of our most active members, and he's been helping me out, and he's been playing well. You went 3-3 yesterday?
I went 3-3. I didn't really have a great deck. My 3 pulls weren't all like good, but
yeah, it's rough.
I looked at it and I was like, well, at least I can go 3-3, and having 3 wins is better than 0.
Right.
So breaking even feels pretty good.
So, but what matters is now the two of us are just kind of hanging out. And I'm free all day to cast. I'll be talking about each game. I'll be grabbing what I think is the top table every time, or maybe a special guest. I expect to have other guests on the stream. I've got the Decks of Keyforge people are here. I know Brad, the designer, is here today. We'll talk to him a little bit. We'll have a lot of stuff going on today. So I'm very excited. I've got my buddy Will here from New York. Will, come sit. And I'll just be pulling people over all day long. After the games, I'll try to interview the people that played, maybe the winner, talk about how they did. So there's going to be as much content as I can all day. Will is my buddy from New York. How's it going, Will? Will runs a lot of local things, and if you tune into this weekend's podcast, which will be posted tomorrow, you'll hear a very nice long episode that Will and I do. So you haven't met Will yet, but he's been on our stream a little bit. Will, how'd you pull?
Good. I'm actually, I've scanned these, so you can show the two that I didn't pick.
Let me see.
So
whatever Will picked is better than what we're about to look at.
So we've got Morga, the Scribe of Fairies. This one to me was pretty clear I wasn't going to take,
So
despite...
There's a War Grumpus package with the Reaper. There's a Lollop Chieftain, with the Drummernaut. There's a Drummernaut. There's double Coward's End, solid Brobnar package, but a little lacking in key control, I think, this deck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so why would we care about this deck? We don't need this deck.
Now, this one was the tough one. This is the one I chose not to pick over the other one, and this was a hard choice for me.
All right, so we have Shadows Mars Brobnar. I see a Miasma. I see a Swindle. Ooh, man. Double Nerve Blast. There's a Hypnotic Command and a Burn and a Screech Bomb. Will, what are you thinking?
I know. I will tell you that this was my steal.
This is so much Amber Control. Look at all this Amber Control. Look at it. It just keeps coming.
It was a beautiful choice.
There's a solid Mars package in here. I see 8 or 10 creatures in here.
Yeah.
There's a Drummernaut and a Bramo and a Bingle and some Groaks and a War Grumpus. Will, what are you thinking?
So, the choice that I was left with, and actually the guy next to me was left with the same choice, consistency or Ember Control.
Okay.
The deck that I chose, I believe, is going to be able to consistently get to 18 Ember, if not more, faster than my opponent. Substantially faster than my opponent.
Sure. Yeah, there's not a ton of passive Ember on this deck. Okay.
So I had the ability to steal, but I'll tell you that the other deck that I'm playing, and this one...
This is it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm not showing this on stream, and I'm not talking about it, but, can I say the houses?
Yeah.
We are Logos, Shadows, Mars. And let me just look at this to see if I agree. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Take a look at my thumb.
Oh man, he's got a thing. But it looks like okay.
Look at the Logos package in its entirety together.
There's very clearly, like, your other deck had a lot of steel and amber control, and honestly, I think my comfort pick would be to go with that amber control and figure out how to win eventually.
Yep.
But you have gone with a much more explosive deck, I think, with still a little bit of amber control in there. There's stuff in there.
And what I'm going to do is just say 1, 2.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of dots in there, right?
3, 4, 5, 6,
And this
7, 8,
this other deck you're showing me, Will, just doesn't have a lot of amber.
10, 11, 12, 13.
No, I'm recording us. I'm recording this. Oh, is round 1 happening?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta run. Will,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
That's why I saw one. They have
I don't know which button to certain press to certain go. I don't know the computer that well.
All right. That's Will. Thank you. Eric, do you want to cast?
Yeah, I'll be on this one. I gotta see my boy in action.
All right, so round 1, we're going to be watching Z
I'll tell you who's playing.
and his opponent,
Josh Borsiak.
Josh. Z and Josh. Z is going to be over here. Let's set this up. Let me just do a couple things. Deck selection. And 1. Ooh. Hey, Mom and Dave are here. What's going on? I got great support. People are great. Oh, whoa, Z. Z.
Must walk the gate.
I got one condition for playing on the mat. And that on the stream, you got to play on my mat.
He's just a superstitious guy. He's using the mat.
Is his name just Z?
This is like land. Got
All right, we have Z at. Did I spell that right? GE.
There's a U. Camou.
Camouflage.
Yes.
And then we have Josh.
That's a great name.
I know.
Yeah. So,
All right, we are
that's it.
live. So you can't. There's no deck lists. Oh, I don't want to have deck lists.
Okay.
Nobody knows the deck lists. They are not scanned into normal things. Day 1B, round 1. And we are rocking and rolling. I am here, joined with Eric. So, a little bit of background. Let me turn on this for a hot second. Hey, I'm here with Eric. Z on the left, playing Hillen the Harvester of Camouflage, is from Team SAS.
Yes, SASLP. Yes.
SASLP. They are part of the team that makes decks of Keyforge. The website. Where's my backpack? My backpack's around here somewhere.
Right behind you?
Keep talking.
So yes, I am also a member of Team SAS LP. I played on day 1. I was fortunate enough to get a serviceable deck that went 5-1. So I will be in day 2 along with Mr. Kodammer in here.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I like having Eric on the stream is that we're both proven players, and I appreciate his commentary. He's very knowledgeable about the game. He's very good at the game. We're both in day 2, and most importantly, we get to rip on Z.
Yeah, well that's really the main goal here.
Yeah. One thing I just wanted to point out, luxury tokens.
Yes.
Tell us about luxury tokens
So we
before
are
we get started.
fortunate enough to be sponsored by Luxury Playstyle. Those are the tokens you see on Z's side of the table, the damage and amber. You see some sun tokens. We were fortunate enough to be sponsored by them, and I mean, we just really appreciate companies taking an interest in a growing game like Keyforge, right? I mean, that to me is one of the coolest things about it, that we're able to partner with them and promote what are really awesome tokens.
Right.
But, so I appreciate the plug, but looks like we're going into some action here.
All right, and yeah, I just wanted to shout this out before we get too into it. And Z starts on getting an amber, right? Just doing a little bit of work.
Yeah, he played something in shadows I couldn't see. There's a little bit of a glare, but
So we're in sealed, so nobody knows deck lists today, right?
correct.
So we're looking at a Shadows Brobnar Sanctum matchup. Make sure that's what I'm actually looking
That is correct.
at. Yeah.
Shadows Brobnar Sanctum, Shadows Brobnar Dis.
Right. So
Excuse me, Shadows Sanctum Dis.
So
yes.
there are a lot of cards that you just have to be looking out for, right? Swindle's one of them, I think. I don't love that card. Let me turn off this. We don't need our faces anymore. There's going to be a lot of amber stealing and a lot of amber capturing in this game. All 4 of these houses represented have a lot of amber control tools in this set.
And Z just played Whistling Darts for great effect on Lamindra, 2 Umbras, and discarded the worst card in the game, the Key of Darkness.
I've actually been kind of happy with these players' discard choices. There have been discarding of the Swindle and the Key of Darkness. They are filtering their deck quickly. So yeah, this is still posturing, right? This is still, we're just getting amber. We're not actually threatening anything. We're seeing who can maintain a board state first.
Right.
And right now we still have answers.
What is that creature?
That's Eater of the Dead.
Eater of the Dead. I haven't seen that very often.
It reaps or whatever, and then it steals your stuff. It purges your things from your discard pile.
That's a thing. I mean, that's definitely a thing when you have a deck that wants to filter. It can work. That's one situation where filtering your deck can work against you if someone was able to successfully use an Eater of the Dead many, 3 or 4 times, then they're cutting down on the number of outs that you're going to have when you turn your deck over.
Right.
So it can definitely be a thing in sealed.
So I think this is a very strong turn from Z. Playing 2 artifacts, I think the only answers that Josh could have is the Poltergeist or the Gorm of really.
Yeah.
But the Gauntlet of the Command and the Flamethrower are 2 artifacts that really work towards that posturing, right?
Yeah, I think you just Sucker Punch.
Yeah, Bramo's got
Sucker Punch Bramo.
See, this is the early game. We're just posturing. We're looking for who's going to get the board state first.
There was an interesting play that he had there that he turned down. It probably was correct to do what he did, but he could have Sucker Punched his own creature to archive the Sucker Punch so he has access to it in the future. Given that there are going to be some Shadows creatures likely coming down that are 2 power, I don't know how many Sucker Punches
I don't know if you can Sucker Punch your own bodies.
You absolutely can.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm 99% sure. We'll get back to you on that. But.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, this is the early game, especially in sealed. In sealed and AOA, you're really looking at a board state based game where you have to make sure that you have a better board than your opponent if you want any chance of winning. These 2 decks might actually be, excuse me, exceptions to that rule because they have the potential to have that amber control that Coda, the first set, had.
I mean, there's some really good amber control in Sanctum. That's where most of my amber control came from in my deck I played yesterday. And of course, Shadows always has amber control.
So neither player has played Sanctum yet.
This is true.
In Sanctum, seems like the way to start a sustainable board, or at least support these little chuds like Umbra, or like I feel like Yancey Gang is very easily killed. Right?
Yeah. I mean, like
the Gauntlet of Command is so threatening.
It's very easily killed by a deck running Robber, for sure.
So that Flamethrower gets to splash 1 damage on 3 different guys, which is fantastic.
Flamethrower is really good against Shadows and also against Dis with many low-powered creatures that are elusive. Like Flamethrower is a great answer, especially in sealed, where you're not gonna randomly have artifact control a lot. It's a great answer to these low-powered creatures.
On the subject of artifact control, I've noticed a lot of players really caring about where their artifact control comes from in this set. A lot being afraid of Heart of the Forest, but there are a lot of very strong and very efficient, like the shards. If you pull a shard deck that's strong, there's a lot of Gauntlet, and you don't have Dominator Bobble anymore, but you still have Lash. There's the Proclamation. Right. Having artifact control is very important, and I want to keep an eye out to see if Josh has those answers.
Right, and like dovetailing with that point, Z just...
Yeah, Sucker Punch is only against enemies.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, I'm
still gets you
I'm
an
smart.
amber.
I know what I'm doing. Really, I do. No, but that's fair. No, so you can only use Sucker Punch against enemy creatures. So thank you, chat, for clarifying that. Z elected to clear the board last turn, and then here comes the Sanctum.
And here's what I was waiting for. Like, this is why you hold the Sanctum board. Now that there's no Brahmo in the way, and Z isn't threatening to play Brobner again, the Grey Rider gets to come down.
Did he play the Grey Rider first? Like,
no. You play the other guys.
No,
and
I
then,
know. Did he get a reap off that?
I believe so.
Okay.
But that's very clearly the right play. Once the board's empty, the Grey Rider becomes free reaps, which is he basically becomes John Smith for reaping, which is very, very strong.
Yeah.
And here comes the big Sanctum turns out of both players.
Okay. Z just dumped a bunch of cards into the discard. I think some of them got amber.
Yeah.
And he's gonna...
Z got to play 5 cards.
This is true.
So Z actually has this 3-card archive of 2 Umbras and a mystery card from the first turn.
Yeah.
I think it was featuring Dust Chronicles or something. And I really want to know what that 3rd card is. I don't think it would be Shadows, because Z wouldn't have archived a Shadows card in his first turn, playing Shadows second. So
it would be incredibly unlikely unless it was like specifically Swindle.
And I wonder how long Z waits to pull those Umbras before he actually grabs goes Shadows, because you have to sustain them.
Well, he might want to go Shadows now because his opponent's at check, so if he's got something to control it, I mean, he might have it in, let's see, he's got a gang in hand, he's got...
That's a good turn from Josh.
It's a very good turn.
Like, he's not threatened at all by Z's play. He had 5 Sanctum cards, and most of them did nothing, so he can very freely reap a bunch. He even killed the Armor Smith, which I think is a fine play. And get the Free Markets as a bunch of Amber. Good play.
Quickly gets out of control.
Free Markets is a great card.
Yes.
Gets you 2 Amber most of the time,
Yes.
but up to 5? Wow.
Unfortunately, it's not quite as good in this matchup because of the parity of the, or the similarity of the houses, but it's still it's fine. Like, it's definitely usable.
And the question here is, what does Z do? Z, it looks like he's conceding the key because he doesn't have the answer for it.
Z has to manage the board state. If he doesn't keep his opponent, like with something like the Grey Rider on board and other Sanctum stuff, if he doesn't keep his opponent like minimized in board presence, he's like the reaping is going to get out of control. And Z notably does not have any of the cards in play or the houses that are most likely to have these cards where they have punishment for reaps, like the Mars stun reap, like all those things.
Yeah. So Josh has a key now, and normally when you get a key, give a key to your opponent, you trade it for some board state. And I don't think that that Z has had enough controlling of the board state. So where does Z go from here? Because here comes Josh building up a big board.
Well, I think Z needs to have a Coward's End materialize in his hand. I don't know if that's in his deck, but I mean that's the play right here if he has it for sure.
Ooh, the Exhume for Ronnie Wristclocks off of the Yerk. What a good combo. Yerk into Exhume is something that we found in our testing that was very, very consistent and strong.
So Z doesn't have any Brahmana cards at hand, so he's going to take. Oh, it's a burn. That was the mystery card. It's burn the stockpiles. The mystery card in archive.
Really? Why wouldn't he have taken that?
Well, I think it's burn. Yeah, that's.
No, it's into the fray.
Into the fray.
It helps you fight a lot.
Yeah.
And last turn he didn't play that because he didn't have efficient enough guys to be fighting that much.
Right. Well, this guy just would have died. This guy just would have died.
Right. And he had the gauntlet. It wasn't necessary, but
into the fray is very good now if he can make one of the Umbers survive.
But look at the board state. If you just look at Z's board, I would say he's in a great spot. But once you look at Josh's board, you see that he has not only the guys to deal with them, but the expendable guys to deal with them. He can fight Ronnie Wristclocks into an Umbra. He can fight Sir Meros into an Umbra.
Yeah,
the Tentacus trades with the. You probably don't want to lose the Tentacus. That's actually the Tentacus is a problem too.
It is, but this is a very important turn for Josh because if Josh doesn't remove both Umbras in this turn, Z is going to be able to do some damage with Brobnar next turn in terms of into the fray. So it really kind of depends on what he's playing Sanctum and he reaped with Sumeros. He's going to fight with Sumeros into that's a very good play. So he's going to kill both Umbras, so that threat is gone.
He should have 2 damage on him, I think.
What do you mean?
Sumeros? Wait, how did he? Oh, he smited.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, the Smite is a really, Smite was in my deck yesterday. It's a really good card. And
Mighty Lance, what a weird rare.
Mighty Lance, yeah, that's a thing.
That's such a weird rare card. All right, side news. We got Will giving me the fist bump. He's got round 1 in the bag. Go Will. Thanks for showing us your decks. All right, back to Z. Man, I think Z is in a rough spot.
He's in a very rough spot here. He needs to find a board wipe. I don't know if he has one, but
I look at that Gorma Vom, and I'm actually kind of sad. I'm sure Z picked that and said, I'm gonna kill Heart of the Forests all day. I'm gonna kill Lashes, and in this matchup, it's just not. Maybe there is a Lash for him to kill, but it doesn't get him out of the hole that he's currently in.
Like he doesn't need. His artifact destruction is usually pretty good, but here, what he really has to have some very swingy turn next turn or a board wipe, or he is likely out of this match. He's still playing. Okay, so he's gonna smite. That's smite. Right?
That's so bad.
He's gonna smite
into Streak.
Yeah, they're just too. They're so big. That's the problem. The creatures are so large.
That we haven't even mentioned the Streak yet. Like he doesn't. He has another smite.
Right.
To...
So he's smiting into elusive creatures first, which is a smart play. So he did do some work there. He got rid of Streak.
That's the little efficiency plays that actually are like if Z wants to come back, he has to find those little efficiency plays to get value out of both smites. There's no Amber on that card, so you have to get a fight out of it, even if you only have a Gray Rider to do it with.
Right. So we still got.
And that Tentacus, that is Z is probably sweating under that Tentacus because it looks like Z has a lot of strong artifacts that we've been really talking about, and if he can't use his artifacts to get the board, then he's gonna lose to that Tentacus almost outright.
If he has a reasonable Brobnar creature in his hand, I did not see, but if he has one, he's going to be able to do some stuff next turn. But it's still not looking fantastic. He's at check. His opponent's at check here, and he just doesn't have a lot of Amber control answers.
And Z is trading. So you normally have to trade either. Am I gonna get Amber? Am I gonna get board? And Z is trying to trade for board, but it's just not efficient enough.
Right, and he's also way behind.
Right. He like if Z had 4 creatures to Josh's 0, that would be more of a typical game of like, okay, I'm gonna build the board, but you can have a key. But Josh is a very interesting play here. He plays Not Finished with You, which is a very hard card to get value out of. It shuffles whatever creatures you want back into your deck, and he picks all of the Shadows guys. A good reason to be fighting with that Ronnie Risk Clocks early.
So yeah, I mean, I agree that not finished with you is not generally it's usually never, unless you're at the very end of your deck, an amazing card. But I think Josh's play here, because he hasn't seen a lot of Amber control from Z, his play just to just keep getting Amber in your pool is not a bad idea. It's likely to be the thing that wins him this match, unless he comes up with something very big, very fast. So
It's just a rough turn. It's a body. It's basically blank. It's Foozle, which is a very good card if you have the board.
Right.
But in this situation, what is Foozle really going to do
I
for
mean,
him?
he elects not to use the gauntlet, which is interesting. I don't know.
No, that's totally right. He has to preserve his own Amber.
I mean, he's so far behind that
you can't fight Foozle into Tentacus. That gives you you would want to fight into the Tentacus, right?
Yeah.
But
he'll do it next turn unless he's dead, and he probably will be.
yeah, this is not looking very good for Z, and this is sealed for you, right?
No. I mean, absolutely. I talked to Z after he opened his deck this morning, and I mean, he was not enthused. I will tell you that. I mean, that's just what happens. I mean, some days you open a good deck, some days you don't. It's just unfortunate.
What were our stats? We thought that half of decks, 1 in 3. Normally, I say 1 in 3 decks are tournament playable.
So my estimation. Oh, Z's just conceded, so that is the end of this match. That's unfortunate for Z, but obviously very well played by Josh. So congratulations to him. He has a good deck, and he did what he needed to do. To answer your question, I think there's a reasonable. I would probably estimate it somewhere around a 20% chance that when you open your pool of 3 decks, that you're immediately eliminated from the tournament, or at least eliminated from making day 2. You just don't know it yet.
That's what it was. 30% of being
right.
just eliminated outright.
20 to 30% chance, depending upon the nuance. I haven't done enough work on it, but I would guess maybe around a 20% chance conservatively that when you open your deck, you just have no shot of making day 2, no matter how well you play, and that's sealed. I mean, that's the nature of sealed.
Excellent. All right, so we're gonna have Z over here in a second, but real quick, I want to put my buddy Will back on. We just got cut off with him early on, and he came over very quickly, in fact, and said that he won his game. Will, how did your deck pan out? I know we didn't look at that list, but did it play as you wanted it to?
Better.
Better than you wanted it to?
Yeah, the match was over in the 3rd turn.
How?
Consistency. I knew exactly what I was going to draw. I was able to declare each of my houses once, and I was able to generate the right Ember in the right order.
Wow, 3 turns? Okay, watch out for Will. He's going to beat you fast, and I think that's actually a very good strategy in this set. Will, thanks a bunch. I'll keep in touch. We'll keep checking in later.
Sounds good.
Good luck. All right, we're gonna have Z over here right now. How's it going? Oh, look at all the people here. Hi to everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Bouncing Death Cork, by the way, or to my stream. This is Kodameron from Bouncing Death Cork. Oh, look, I got people. I got so many notifications. I got to go through all this later. Yeah. So this is Josh. Please come sit. Will, is this yours? Will.
Yes, thank you.
Josh, congratulations. It looked like a mirror match going in, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you feel about that game? How did your deck pull relate like compared to what you thought it was going to do?
I mean, I think it did exactly what I wanted it to. Like the Exhume with Ronnie.
That was a
great
good play. I noticed that.
It's got the 2 Cermeros, and just enough like direct damage to keep the board clear, so he can't really do much about it unless he's got his own answer.
Yeah, the thing that we were noticing is that normally when you get a key, you trade a board for it, right? You have to like sacrifice your board because you reaped instead of fought. But you were doing both. You were actually making a board and getting your key. Right. And apparently Z isn't super happy with his pulls, but I think what we need to be focusing on is how well you played and how good your deck is. I mean, that's a scary deck, and I look forward to hearing more from you. Good luck in the tournament.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a bunch, Josh. All right, so that was round 1. So I have a special announcement that I want to make. And this one starts with me saying Happy Father's Day. Father's Day is tomorrow, and I wanted to thank my dad for a lot of things. And a big part of that is this is my passion project. I do this. I don't do this for money. I don't do this for sponsorship. And
What's that?
I really love doing it. I'm happy to come here, bring my rig, and really just put this content out there because I know people want to see this, and I want to be the person that puts it out there for you. And I know I can do that, and I don't do it for any gain. And I learned this really a lot from my dad. My dad does a very similar thing with his hobby, which is his passion is music. We're both engineers by profession, but he makes a lot of music, and he makes a song every couple months, and he not professionally, but he's got this huge setup. He makes these songs entirely on his own. He produces them, he writes them, he sings them, he makes all the instruments, and I thought for Father's Day, instead of giving the typical Be Right Back splash page, which is nice, but I thought for Father's Day, instead of having some dead silence, we would have, between the rounds, a little bit of music. So, happy Father's Day, Dad. Talk to you soon. Just for a little bit of background, the first song we're gonna play is "Digging for Gold," his newest single.
Ad hoc streaming tides, brain endorphins gratify. Drive through supersize. 4 bars, 5-star satisfy. Smartwatch, binge watch, platinum plan. Quick kill, red heels better than. Sport drink, uplink, upper hand. Show off, share on Instagram. Our gig-based bit rate, real-time laughs. FaceTime, spring break, compromise. There's one thing that does not change. Is the thing that we don't realize. We're digging, we're digging, we're digging, we're digging, we're digging. We're digging, we're digging, we're digging, we're digging, we're digging. Digging for gold. It's in the echoes, the path, the map I see. A construct of how we perceive. When you stop your search for your belief, you're gonna be surprised to see where you're digging, you're digging, you're digging, you're digging, you're digging. You're digging, you're digging, you're digging, you're digging, you're digging. Yeah, you're digging, you're digging, you're digging, you're digging, you're digging. Digging for gold. Peel the layers, listen and learn. What's real becomes clues when the tables turn. The shiny law that tempts our soul in this distracted on-demand hashtag world. Our gig-based bit rate, real-time lives. FaceTime, spring break, compromise. There's one thing that does not change. Is the thing that we don't realize. We're digging, we're digging, we're digging, we're digging, we're digging. We're digging, we're digging, we're digging, we're digging, digging. We're digging, we're digging, we're digging, digging for gold. twilight zone of disbelief. A zero-sum technology. It's the cutting edge of life's history in a cutthroat world where we compete. In our gig-based bit rate, real-time lives, FaceTime spring compromise. This can all be explained. Soon enough I'll realize I'm digging, I'm digging, I'm digging, I'm digging. I'm digging, I'm digging, I'm digging, I'm digging. Yeah, I'm digging, I'm digging, I'm digging, I'm digging. Digging for gold. There it goes again for me. These things are firing memories all around me. Out of sight and out of my mind, these things I have to remember the time and save something. Save my collection of 45s and birthday cards of years gone by, a family grudge. Don't even remember why. It's still better than nothing. Everybody save something. These photographs I keep with me in the attic, with my memories are gonna find me. Cause when I found my old CDs, I felt they had this energy. I'm glad I saved something. These books I never read, my old guitar, strung and polished, clean, and clothes I've worn throughout the seasons. You know I'm saving those feelings. Everybody save something. Everybody save something. Everybody save something. When the chance arrives, you run and hide back toward the comfort of